Good morning, children. So, today we are going to start our new chapter from social science, that is chapter 9 of history, that is religious belief. So, in this chapter, what we are going to study is that we will study about what is religious belief, two religious movements that took place during that period, and also about the saint of those two religious movements and their teaching. Clear? So now let us start our chapter. So first of all, we should know what is religions and belief. So these two words, that is religion and belief, are common words and it is associated with us. Clear? Religion is belief in God, right? So we all believe in one other gods. Belief is something that you believe. So these two words combined together and formed one word, that is religious belief. Clear about religious belief? Now, two religious movements spread across India during the medieval period. These were the Bhakti and the Sufi movement. Bhakti means devotion. The teacher or saint of Bhakti composed hymns and sang bhajans glorifying God. The Sufi saint too expressed their devotion through music. Saints of both the tradition taught people to help those in need and lead a simple life. In fact, the words Sufism and Sufi come from the word Suf, which is a kind of coarse garment worn by this saint. So these two movements influence the life of the people in a big way. So out here we have two religious movements. What are those? Bhakti and Sufi. Bhakti means devotion, Sufi means man of wool. Now, this Bhakti movement was popularized by Alvar and Nayanar. Now, who was Alvar? Alvar was the worshipper of Lord Vishnu and Nayanar was the worshipper of Lord Shiva. And the Sufi movement was originated in West Asia, and from 9th century, many Sufi they began to migrate to India. Clear? Now this Bhakti saint, what they do? They compose hymns and sang bhajan. Why? To praise God. Whereas Sufi also express their devotion through music only. Now there are one similarity between both. The saint, what was those? That they taught people to help people, those who are in need, and to lead a very simple life. Clear? So now let us talk about the Bhakti traditions. Okay. Now the Bhakti movement became popular in South India from the 8th century onward. From when? From 8th century onward. The Alvar and Nayanar saint popularized it. They came from different castes and followed different professions. They preached the part of surrendering oneself to God. This saint poet traveled from place to place, singing hymns in praise of different gods. The Chola king built temple at place visited by this saint. So, who has popularized this Bhakti tradition? That was Alvar and Nayanar. Who was Alvar? Was the worshipper of Lord Vishnu, and Nayanar was the worshipper of Lord Shiva. And this saint belonged from different caste background, okay? And they went from place to place. The Bhakti saint, or we can say the teacher of, they composed hymns or sang bhajan, which was basically done to praise God. Clear? And they used to teach everybody. What they used to teach? To surrender oneself to God. Now, next we have Bhakti saint. Now talking of Bhakti saint, there were two Bhakti saint during medieval period. They were the Sankaracharya and Ramanuja. And this Sankaracharya and Ramanuja who spread the message of Bhakti in South India. Now first talking about Sankaracharya, he was born in a village of South India in 8th century. And he used to believe that the way to salvation was through knowledge. And he worshipped Lord Shiva, that is, he was a devotee of Lord Shiva. And he believed that there is no difference between soul of God and human being. And he has established 4 pith, or we can say center of learning. and it is located at Badrinath, Dwarika, Puri and Singari. Clear, these are the four peeths or the center of learning established by Sankaracharya. Now let's talk about Ramanuja, as he was a devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he teach that devotion towards God is only the means to attain salvation. Understood? Now Sankaracharya, what he preached to attain salvation is true knowledge, whereas Ramanuja, he preached to attain salvation is true devotion to towards God's. Okay, and he preached people, what he preached people to put themselves completely in the hand of God, and that by loving God and doing good deed alone could the soul be saved. Clear? So there were other saints apart from this Sankaracharya and Ramanuja who has popularized the bhakti movement, like Namdev, Tukaram, Janeshwar and Eknath, and they has popularized Vithal temple. They have popularized this temple, Vithala temple, and they at present day it is at Maharashtra. Now Chaitanya has composed bhajan and he popularized Krishna Bhakti in Bengali. And there was Tulsidas and Surdas was also there, who was a devotee of Ram and Lord Krishna. Again we have got Mirabai. You all know about her. She was a devotee of Lord Krishna and she composed many bhajan expressing her love towards Lord Krishna. Clear? Now next we have the teaching of bhakti. So first teaching was that selfless love and devotion are the means to come close to God. Purity of heart and mind is important. Closeness to God cannot be found through ceremonies, rituals, and sacrifice or by giving up the world. That is, selfless love and devotion was the first teaching of Bhakti Sin. So, according to them, the ritual and ceremony is not important. Okay, it's not so important. You cannot be close to God by doing all this thing, all this ritual, all this performance. By doing all this, it doesn't mean that you are close to God. Clear? Now, the most important thing is your heart and mind should be pure. Then only you can have the way to salvation. Understood? Now, the second point which we have is that all human beings are equal. God did not create high or low caste people, nor did He create Hindus and Muslims. So people should be tolerant of one another. So out here, what was the teaching? That all human beings are equal in the eyes of God. And it is true also. Even today, God did not did division among the people. He did not say that you are Hindu, you are Muslim, you are not supposed to enter out here. Thus God has said like that? No. So people should tolerate one other religion. They should not do any difference between the religion. Clear? Now the third teaching what we have is that share the pain of other. Try to ease it. Helping fellow human being is the true form of bhakti. So share the pain of other is very important. If you cannot reduce the pain of other, then you did not have got right to give pain to. Clear? So try to help the needy people, listen their problem, try to solve out their problem. Clear? If you did such thing, it means that you are showing devotion towards God. Now, the fourth teaching is that knowledge is an essential part of bhakti. It can be gained through a teacher. So, knowledge is an important part of a bhakti. And yes, it is very important. Clear? So, how can you gain knowledge? Through Guru, that is teacher, right? So, who will guide you? That is the teachers or the Guru used to guide us, used to show us the right path, which is correct. What should we do? Who is going to show? That is the Guru. Clear? Now, the fifth is that a devotee can express bhakti through devotional music. That is, a devotee can express their bhakti through devotional music. That is, through bhajan, as it is express our emotion or feeling. Understood about the teaching of Bhakti Saint? Now, next is our Sant Kabir, the mystic poet, that is a philosopher. Now, Sant Kabir was the greatest poet of Bhakti movement, and he was born in Kashi, which is now Varanasi. Now, no one know exactly about his early life. So there are different story about it. Clear? Like some used to believe that his mother was a Brahman widow who abandoned him and that he was adopted by a childless Muslim couple who were weaver by profession. Now, they taught him the weaver trade. Some sources say us that he never got married, while others believe that he was married and had two children. So, we did not have any exact history of his early life. So, it is based on assumption. So, what the people they have said, it was been written on the assumption of that only. Clear? Now, the philosophy of Kabir. So, what is the philosophy of Kabir? That is, Kabir believed in unity of God and he said that God is one. And he emphasized faith in God wills. Okay. And he was against idol worship. Not only against idol worship, against the performing the ritual, taking dips in the holy river, going on the pilgrimage, and other such outward forms of worship. So he doesn't like all those things. He even had a debate or conflict with the Brahmins and the Kajis for their superstitions, what they used to believe. Clear? And he laid straightway on the purity of character and conduct. That means your character, your way of doing things must be very pure, must be done from a true heart, and you must lead a very simple life. That was the belief of Kabir, and he was dedicated to bhakti. That means if your character and conduct is pure and you lead a very simple life, that means you are dedicated to bhakti. And he also preached ahimsa and asked people not to kill any animal for food. Okay, and Kabir has given importance to Guru. And the Guru, he used to believe that, used to show the people the correct path. And he regarded Swami Ramanand as his Guru. And Kabir wanted Hindu-Muslim unity, that is Hindu and Muslim to be united. He strove for harmony between Hinduism and Islam. So in this, he was a forerunner of Mahatma Gandhi. Clear? Now we have the death of Kabir. Now Kabir wants Hindu-Muslim unity. Right, he did not show any difference between them, between Hindu and Muslim. So he had both Hindu and Muslim disciple. And as when he passed away, there arose a dispute between Hindu and Muslim as how his last rites should be performed. As because the Hindu wanted to cremate the body of Kabir while the Muslim want to bury it. Clear? So there was a dispute between Hindu and Muslim for his soul. Now when they removed the shroud, that is a white cloth, from his body, they found that some flower was there. Body was not there. Instead of body, flower was there. And those flower, the Hindu took half and cremated them, and the Muslim took other half and buried them. Clear? That is Hindu and Muslim both has taken the flower. Now the follower of Kabir later formed a separate group and began to be known as the Kabir Panthis. Clear? Now we will talk about the work of Kabir. As children, Kabir teaching are in the form of short poem that is called Doha. I think you all have must learn Dohas. You all must have listened Dohas. So can you say any one of the Dohas of Kabir? As I remember, one Doha that is ऐसी बानी बोलिए मन का आपा खोए औरों को शीतल करे आपो शीतल होए. This is one of the Doha of Kabir. So in his Doha, it has got strong message inside it. Clear? If you will listen it very carefully, if you try to understand it, inside the Doha which was written by Kabir, it has got strong message inside it. Now, Kabir Vani, that is the words of the Kabir, was written and compiled after he passed away. Kavi, Granthwali and Bijak. These were the most important, and it contained Kavi philosophy and the holy book of Sikh, that is Guru Granth Sahib, which is the holy book of Sikh. It contained 500 verses of Kabir. Clear about the Sant Kabir? Now we will study about Guru Nanak. As Guru Nanak was born in Talwandi, now it is in Pakistan. And Guru Nanak also worshipped and laid emphasis in the worship of one God, that is Ik Onkar. Clear? And what he used to teach, that is the teaching of Guru Nanak, he preached true devotion to God is only the path to salvation. And he said that Guru is the only one who will guide you and will show you the right path of bhakti. Clear? And he advised the people to lead a very honest life and a very simple life and to help others, that is other poor and the needy people. Clear? Now he was against the caste and class difference. He doesn't believe in the caste and class difference, and he preached equality. That means he used to treat everyone equally. He had started the practice of langar or the common kitchen, which we used to say. So while in this langar and common kitchen, everyone must be allowed, irrespective of caste and religion. Clear? That is, irrespective of caste and religion, they provide food to them and even they ate food together in langar. Okay? Now, Guru Nanak, he has insisted three principles which is essential in life. You know what was the three principle of Guru Nanak which he insists and which contain the essence of life? The three principle was, first one was Nam Japo, that is meditate. Second one was Krit Karo, or which means work hard and earn your livelihood by honest mean. Clear? That means working hard, but how much you are getting, with that you should feel happy. Third one was Band Chakho. That means share your earning with those less fortunate than you. Understood? Now we have the work of Guru Nanak. So we will discuss about the work of Guru Nanak. Now Guru Nanak, what was his work? That is, Nanak teachings are in the form of verse, and these have been compiled in Guru Granth Sahib, and that Guru Granth Sahib is also called Adi Granth. It has the teaching of Nanak and three gurus who followed him together with the last section from Kabir and the other saint of that period. And it was compiled by fifth Guru, and it is holy scriptures of the Sikh. So there is a copy of the Guru Granth Sahib in every Gurudwara. Clear? Now the later Guru. Now Guru Nanak was succeeded by 9 successors. That means there was a 10th Guru. Okay. And that 9 successors are also known as Guru. Who are those? They were Guru Angad Dev, Guru Amar Das, Guru Ram Das, Guru Arjun Dev, Guru Har Gobind, Guru Har Rai, Guru Har Krishna, Guru Tegh Bahadur and Guru Gobind Singh. And the last Guru formed the Khalsa Panth or the Sikh community. Understood? You must remember who formed the Khalsa. That is the last Guru has formed the Khalsa Panth or the Sikh community. Clear? Now we have the Sufi tradition. So till now we have studied about the Bhakti movement. So out there we have studied about the Bhakti saint, about the Sant Kabir and about Guru Nanak. Now we will move towards the Sufi tradition. That is Sufi movement which got originated in West Asia and gradually in 9th century they migrated, that is Sufi, they migrated to India. And according to Sufi, love and devotion is the only mean of reaching towards God. Sufi and Bhakti movement interact with each other and they borrowed many ideas from each other. Clear? That is, the and the Sufi, they used to interact with each other, and the Bhakti's idea was being borrowed by the Sufi, and Sufi idea was being borrowed by the Bhakti. Now let's talk about the Sufi order. So first, what do you mean by Sufi orders? Sufi orders, they mean group among Sufi. So this Sufi order was also called Silsila. Clear? That is, Sufi order was also called Silsila. There were 12 Silsila around 13th century, and all these Silsila were named after its founder. Now, if we talk about the most popular Silsila of India, they were the Chishti Silsila and Survadri Silsila. Now, the Sufis saint, they live in Khanga. So, what is Khanga? Khanga is a Persian word which means house of Sufi. So, Khanga is a place where Sufi saint they live. So, the devotee of all religions used to come to Khanga to seek blessing of saint. Clear? As this chapter is based on religious belief, so the people, they used to believe that this saint has some power, so that this saint could cure the illness and predict the future of the people. So with this belief and hope, the people of different villages, they used to visit the Khanga to seek blessing from the saint. Clear? And in this Khanga, music and dance session used to held, and this music and dance session was called Sama. Okay, and poem which was been composed by the saint and his philosopher was been recited out there in the Khanga. Clear? Now children, as I have said that there's two most popular silsila in India, that was the Chishti silsila and Survadri silsila. Now first talk about the Chishti silsila. So Khavaj Muinuddin Chishti, he has introduced the Chishti silsila and he arrived in India with Mahmud of Ghazni in 1116, and he was the greatest saint, and his dargah, that is tomb, is at Ajmer, where all the people, the devotee, they used to visit that dargah, and it has become the famous center of pilgrimage center. And in this dargah, a festival that called Urs is been conducted every year, that is annually, and this festival is conducted for 6 days for the death session of Khavaj Muinuddin Chishti. And in this festival, basically they have a night session of Qawwali. Clear? Now, apart from Khavaj Muinuddin Chishti, there are other famous Chishti saint was also there. They were Khavaj Kutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, Baba Farid, Sheikh Nasir Uddin, Muhammad Chiragi Dilli, and perhaps out of them the greatest Sufi saint was Khavaj Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, and he was popularly known to be a Mehboob-e Ilahi, that is beloved of God by his follower. Okay, and his dargah is at Delhi, and hundreds of people, they used to visit this dargah every day, and in this dargah, especially on Thursday evening, Qawwali program used to be held. Clear? Now second silsila which is popular in India is Survadri silsila. Out here, Sheikh Bahauddin Zakaria was the first great saint of the Survadri silsila. Shah Alam Bukhari and Sheikh Sahib Uddin Survadri were also important saint of this silsila. Now we will move on to the teaching of Sufi saint. So children, the teaching of Sufi saint was similar to those of the Bhakti saint. So what are those teaching? Let us discuss about it. Okay. So first one is God is supreme and should be worshipped through love and devotion. Clear? meditation and chanting of God names is very important. So what was their teaching? That is, God is the supreme of all, and the people should worship God through love and fully devoted towards God. Clear? And they also used to believe that meditation and chanting God name in a Sufi language, it was called jikir. That is, they must have to chant the God name. Clear? And this is very important, as they used to believe. Now, second teaching was that respect all religious, different religions preach different way of reaching gods. That is, they are different religion is there. So different religion, they used to believe, or they used to follow different process to reach towards God. So we the people should respect all religion equally. Third one, lead a simple life. Keep yourself free from greed. That is, you must need to lead a very simple life, an honest life, and you should keep yourself free from greediness, which we call in Hindi, lalach should not be there. Other teaching was that help those in need. That means help those people, or those poor people who need help. We must step forward to help them. Other, follow a guru who would show the correct path. So in their Sufi language, guru was called peer. That means you should have a guru, that is peer, and should follow his path, what he is showing to you. That is because guru used to guide you, will always guide you to show the right path. So last teaching which we have is one can come close to God through devotional music. That means they used to believe that through devoted towards music, one can come close towards God. As because Khawas Muhyiddin Chishti is in particularly, he gave importance to the musical gathering. Clear? So last is our other clerks. That is the last part of our chapter. Okay. So now what is cults? Basically is a group only. Okay, cults is basically group only. Now apart from Bhakti and Sufi tradition, there was other cults, that is Nathpanthi, Siddharths, Yogi. They were also there. They were not so popular like Bhakti and the Sufi tradition. Clear? As they preached self-sacrifice, and they taught that part of salvation can only be done through meditation. Clear? That is, part of salvation could only reach through meditation. However, they could not, or we can say, they failed to attract many followers. Clear? So, children, we have completed our chapter. So, what we have studied? So, we have studied about what is religious belief, the two religious movement, that was the Bhakti and the Sufi tradition. Clear? Under Bhakti tradition, we have studied about Bhakti saint, about Sant Kabir, about Guru Nanak. Clear? Now, under the Sufi tradition, we have studied about the Silsila, that is the Sufi orders and the teaching of the Sufi saint. Clear? So, just go through your textbook. If you have still any doubt, you could ask me without feeling hesitation. Okay? But you need to go through your textbook. Clear? So, thank you.